3 points. 3 points, guys. That is the positive. That is the positive, and we've got to run away with it. There's been a robbery in London. I'm going to tell you now. There's been a robbery in London. And the robbers are Thomas Frank and his team. How is it going, guys? It's your boy Manny here on Designated Hotspur. What have we sat through there? What have we sat through there? But guys, listen, formalities, smash the like, subscribe, hype, get your boy to 500 subscribers. We are on, I think, about 380. The last time we spoke, we had just hit, I believe, 200 or just over. And the movement is just, it just keeps going, guys. So help me get to 500. Listen, I will post that banner at the top, and yeah, let's just try and hit that. Let's just try and hit that 500 subscribers mark, and bring some joy after all that nonsense I've just watched, guys. Absolute nonsense. Let's get right into it. I actually don't even want to make this a long-winded video. It's nearly midnight here, and genuinely, after what I've had to sat through, I don't feel I've got the energy in me. I don't feel like I've got the energy in me. But where do I start? Let's start with Thomas Frank. Let's start with actually, you know what? Let me rephrase. Let's start with the positives. 3 points gained at Crystal Palace away from home. Clean sheet gained at Crystal Palace away from home. Those are the positives. Not many teams go to Palace and win. Not many teams. So when you go to Palace and win and get a clean sheet, You've got to be happy. You've got to be happy with that. And especially looking at the circumstances, mate, you bite the hand off. Obviously, it's really, 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 really tough to play world-class players like Will Hughes in midfield, like Lerma, makeshift right centre-back, Deveni, 18-year-old or 19-year-old Crystal Palace attacker is really, really, really tough. Really tough. Like every single fan is trying to tell me. Really tough. For our players, you know, international players like Van de Ven and Porro and Vicario and Kudus and Moani and Richarlison and Bentancur and Paulinho, who came on, and Spence. So difficult for these players to play against these well-renowned international players. That's where the positives end. That's where the positive ends, guys. And if I'm really honest with you, I will touch on Thomas Frank's presser, his pre-match interview. What on earth is wrong with this guy? What on earth is this stinking attitude? What on earth is this stinking mentality? Let's delve into what he said. What did he say? And I've got it written down here. And there were just 2 points, because obviously after I saw the quotes, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm not even going to waste my time and watch this guy and listen to this nonsense. But the 2 things that really stuck out to me. He said, we have lost 2 games in a row. No ish Sherlock. But he hasn't seen us play badly in 2 games in a row. What is this guy smoking? What is this guy on? Genuinely. I can genuinely count probably three games where we've played well. And he had the audacity to serve this football, this stinking haram ball that he's shown tonight against a depleted Crystal Palace. Palace that have lost Eze, that have lost Olise. Palace without Sarr, who's at the African Cup of Nations. This Palace without Kamada. This guy absolutely kills me. And then he had the audacity to say, we're in the Champions League, but we are not a Champions League team. Brother. I mean, if we want to really dissect exactly what he said, we can literally say, yeah, you know what, he was speaking the truth. But what is your problem? Why is that your focus? Why are you churning up these excuses before games now because you are afraid of your position? This is not even a Brentford. And he had the audacity to say, oh, we didn't qualify to the Champions League in his or in our own merit. Are you stupid? You qualified and got yourself in the Premier League via the playoffs. Not by finishing first and winning a trophy in the Championship. Not by being the best, the first runner-up. This guy, I genuinely, I don't think it will work. Because I could take this and him actually proving something and actually showing up what this, this great setup that he has on the pitch. But he's not doing that. He's not doing that. So yeah, I mean, as I've said on many different shows that I've been on, I don't think it's worth it sacking him now anyway. I don't think it bodes well for us, because no club, no player will want to leave their club to join us, and no manager would want to leave their club to join us unless we absolutely splurge in the transfer market. So, I've wasted way too much time, 7 minutes of my time to talk about this guy, and I am flabbergasted for the lack of a better word. So let's just pretty much focus on the game. The game was absolute dog. We made Crystal Palace look like prime Barcelona. I understand that they wear the same colors, but my word. I had no qualms about the lineup per se. Even Mwani on the left-hand side, I didn't think there was much of an issue until Mwani started playing, and he had an absolute stinker of a game. And it just showed that he is just not a left winger. And I do appreciate Frank's conundrum that he's in, and the fact that you play Odobert from the start. Odobert doesn't take his chance to stake that claim and be that starter. He doesn't. So he then has to try other things. I appreciate the fact that obviously Xavi had got himself sent off in the last game. So he had to try something different, and he played Bergvall in there, and again another meaty performance, probably a 2-3 out of 10. Richarlison actually put his weight about. He had a great he had 2 goals chalked off, really, really good goals where he was marginally offside. I'm not going to get too much on his back for that. and he created a wonderful flick to Johnson, who's pathetic and couldn't even. You know what? I have no words for Johnson anyway. I'm hearing he's about to leave in the January transfer window, so I'm not even gonna bother too much about him. We basically started how we meant to go on. We started pensive. We started apprehensive. Couldn't string two passes together. And that's exactly how we played for throughout the game. Kudus couldn't get on the ball. Whenever he got on the ball, he couldn't trap the ball. He couldn't progress the ball. He couldn't. It was an absolute shambles, guys. It was an absolute shambles from top to bottom. And I'm there thinking about it. I know I keep digressing back to this manager, man. And I'm thinking, mate, even in my job, you get a 6 months probation. And in those 6 months, if you want to keep your job, you need to be able to show something. Show some effort. Show why you've been hired for that job. And I'm not the one earning millions. This guy has been here 5 months, 6 months, and I have no clue what he's trying to implement. Zero, zilch, doch, nada. I have zero clue what this guy wants to implement. But he runs his mouth more than anyone, acting like he's this, like, I think he's drunk too much out of his own Kool-Aid. He thinks he's the Oracle. Thomas Frank, focus. Focus, brother. Focus. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Mwani was poor. And Kevin Danso, my Ghanaian brother. Kevin Danso. Did he even get, I think he got man of the match. And I have absolutely no clue how he did it. I mean, I probably shouldn't go too much in on him because he is a backup centre-back, right? So maybe I probably shouldn't go in on him. And I should probably go in on Romero for getting himself sent off and missing this game. But he was sketchy for most parts of this game. He was apprehensive. Gosh. I'm actually surprised that he ended the game and didn't get himself sent off, because that's exactly what it looked like was going to happen. But I genuinely don't have a lot to say about this game, because we were just atrocious, and we've come out with 3 points, which I am relieved about. We've now moved up to 11th in the Premier League table with a +4 goal difference, which is a relief. It's a relief, because we need to start picking up points. It doesn't matter how we pick up these points. We just need to start picking up points. We ended up conceding possession to Palace, who normally have the lowest possession in every single game. We ended up having 38% ball possession to their 62%. A depleted Palace team. It's embarrassing. I am embarrassed to be supporting this team at this moment with this clueless manager at the moment. It's just shocking to me. And this agenda-driven narrative that because we've won, you can't analyze the game by our fan base is dejecting, demoralizing, and pathetic, to be polite. The final thing I want to say, as I said, listen, it's a miracle. They missed so many chances, Lacroix, whatever his name is, missed the header. Mateta missed the header, which was easier to score than to miss. And then I forgot their defender. I forgot his name, but their captain also missed another header. And yeah, so we should count ourselves lucky, guys. We should count ourselves lucky. We should count ourselves lucky. Go away from South London and put our hoodie on, get on that bus and not look back, because that was an absolute robbery. Absolute robbery. The last thing I want to say was there've been rumours after rumours of Paratici leaving. And he was at Palace sat next to Vinay. And that was surprising, because if he is really leaving, why was he there? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know whether it was all for showmanship and just to, for a photo op. But I don't know, just maybe, he might just be here until the end of the transfer window to help us recruit some quality players and then leave. So I'm not entirely sure, but I'll leave that for another day, the speculation for another day. I'm going to try and get a video out this week on the eve of the transfer window opening, and I'll talk about who we should be targeting and who's going to improve our team immediately. I know the January transfer window is a difficult window to do deals in, so I know we're probably going to get two absolute maximum three, but yeah, we need it. Get this manager some players that can keep us on the top half of the table, and then end of season, sack this fraud man, sack this guy, sack him at the end of the season. If he continues this nonsense performance, and if he continues to run his mouth the way he's been running his mouth for the past few days, sack him and bring in someone who can actually defend this club rather than ridicule them. Sack him and bring in someone who loves the club, or who is ready to love the club rather than ridicule us. A guy whose best team he's coached has been Brentford, trying to talk to us about who's a Champions League team or not. We had one season out of the last 10 finishing below 9th. One season. And this guy has the cheek to talk to us about... You know what, guys? Listen, like, subscribe. The more I talk about this, the more pissed off I get. Like, subscribe, and share. And end of the season, get this fraud out.